Okay, the next stage we're going to do is fitting of the support, or the what we call the angle struts. Now, it's quite important just to remember, standing here looking at the garden, left hand side, right hand side, both these struts are exactly the same, except they're orientated for either end of the garden. So what we've done at the top of the strut, we've written an R for right and an L for left. And up at that top end is also quite a large bracket. So what you want to do is grab that strut and you can flick that around so that this larger bracket is at the top, and where we've written the letter R, that's going to go against the vertical support strut on the garden, and the base will be down here. Now, okay guys, so welcome to this video. We've done an update on this particular video, so you notice a couple of changes just so I'm able to show you what those updates are. And it's fitting of the front angle struts, and it's the first set of screws that we're going to put in. So to do the job, we've supplied you with a 8mm ring spanner, and the screws that you're going to use that are in the bag for this particular stage are a 1" or 25mm Tech screw, and we're going to fit those into the corner brackets of each front angle strut. Okay, so once you've got the strut in place, you'll notice in the brackets, or you should align up with 2 pre-drilled holes, both at the bottom and up at the top. Once they're aligned, you want to get your ring spanner and your first Tech screw and fit either the front or the back one, it doesn't matter, into the bracket. Now, I do find just putting a bit of pressure on top of the ring spanner itself, and as you get part way down, you may notice that the ring spanner starts to get impacted by the other screw that we've already mounted for you there. That's no problem. If you turn your ring spanner around, you can actually wind that down. Now, that doesn't always happen, but it's just another trick of the trade that may help you out. This one's actually going in pretty good, so we can use that probably most of the way. Like so, and then just make sure it's nice and snug. Like that. Once you've done one in the bottom, you want to go and do one of them in the top bracket. And again, it doesn't matter whether you're doing the top hole, the top hole or the bottom hole. This just helps get the actual strut in line. A little bit of pressure on the back of the ring spanner helps that go in. Remember, these holes are pre-drilled for you. And again, you may find you need to turn the ring spanner around to wind that in. Once you've got one in the top and the bottom, you simply now want to get your other Tech screws in the bag and fit the second one into each of the brackets, and I'll go through and do that now. Okay, we'll go through and put the top one in. Just till it's nice and firm. Don't over tighten, but just make sure it is tweaked up. And that is the fitting of the Tech screws into the corner or angle brackets. So the next screw that you want to fit in is a 100mm square drive. And that's going to go straight down through the pre-drilled hole at the base of the strut. Like so. And the next component that you'll fit, you got the ring spanner, is the Tex screws. Now these Tex screws, there's 5 of them at each end of the garden, and these Tex screws are going to fit into pre-drilled holes in the bottom bracket and the top bracket on the inside. Now we have supplied you with an 8mm ring spanner to do this. I do like to go through and fit the top ones first. You may need to manipulate the bracket a little bit just to line them up. And a bit of pressure on the back of the ring spanner will help wind those in. You can, if you like, before you screw them off, get the other one started. Now there'll be 2 in the base, and then there's 1 to go in the middle of that bracket, about halfway up. And it is a little tight, but once you get it started, you're away. And now all 3 of them in, I just wind those off so they're nice and snug. Like so. Now that's the top bracket. The bottom bracket is exactly the same. There's 2 that fit in there, pre-drilled holes. And start those off, and before you screw them off, if you like, you can fit the other one just to at least get it started. And once you're happy, just wind both those screws off so they're nice and snug. Like so. Once you've done that, you've got 2 more screws to fit. One, what you now is a 100mm square drive, and that screw is going to go in the top at the back of the vertical strut. And where it's actually going to run is on an angle through like that. So you'll see the pre-drilled hole if you just line that up. Screw that in. And the last screw that you have is now a 75mm square drive, so the shorter one of the 2. And that's going to go in the pre-drilled hole at the front. I know you're thinking there's probably a heck of a lot of screws, which there is, but especially for those that have ordered these gardens with the gas struts, they put a lot of pressure on these. So what we've endeavoured to do is really lock these into place to take that strain that those gas struts can cause as you open and close the doors. So it makes them nice and secure, stops them from twisting. Once you've done one of the ends, you do exactly the same process for the other end of the garden. Again, a good double check is L for left, which is at the top. Once you spin it around, will orientate this strut correctly for you. So I'll work through now, and I'll just put the strut on exactly the same way as I did at the other end. Okay, Tech screws again. And you'll have 2 left for the base. Right, once you've done that, that's the fitting of the left and right angle struts. Now you're up to the next stage.